So here I would like to straight away delve into the main function of the day, which is the first panel discussion. And this happens to be on the topic, the sweet spot of AI, blockchain and cloud. Use cases and future at automotive and mobility. And now it's time to begin with our first power panel discussion, as I just told you. And I would like to introduce our panelists for this one. Please welcome Mr. Hilal Khan. He is the head of Honda Cars. He's the IT head, information and technology head. Sir, can I have you here? Please have a big round of applause for this man. Welcome, sir. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Vikas Yadav, VP IT Livpure, SAR Group. He has 20 years of global experience in ERP, SAP, and digital transformation across industries like auto and chemical. He has led major IT projects including SAP implementations, IoT integration, and automation in manufacturing, finance, and customer care, driving business growth through technology innovation. Welcome, sir. They are not going ahead without your claps. Let me tell you, clap is a very, very good exercise. See your skin tomorrow morning if you clap throughout the day today, ladies and gentlemen. This is just not going. They'll constantly mange more. So please keep clapping. They are our fraternity. They are your fraternity. Please don't cease to clap, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Aditya, Garg, founder and CEO, Centilytics and Zarthi, completed his master's in AI ML from Stanford University. He has successfully bootstrapped Centilytics, a cloud management product company, to grow it from a 3-person project to a 200 people strong organization, which now manages over $750 million in cloud consumption across 6 continents. After pioneering the cloud management product space with Centilytics award-winning CMP, he is now busy building Zarthi and reimagining outsourcing with a vision to catalyze every business. Welcome, sir. He greeted me with a warm smile. Can we have a round of applause for him? Thank you. Okay, now we have Mr. Manish Panjwani. Can I have you here, sir? CTO, Shriram Automall. He is a seasoned technology leader with over 8 years of experience in auto tech, fintech, edtech, and health tech. Oh my God, so many techs here. He spearheads innovation for India's largest platform for pre-owned vehicles utilizing AI, ML, and analytics to enhance business decisions and customer satisfaction. He's also an award-winning CTO. He also mentors and speaks on industry advancements. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to show more love. Welcome, sir. And now I would like to call on stage Mr. Amit Jain, the Group Head IT and Special Projects at Sage Metals. Welcome, Mr. Amit Jain. He's a seasoned technocrat with 18 plus years of experience in IT infrastructure and operations. He specializes in SAP, S/4HANA, and cloud technologies. He excels in executing large-scale projects and has been recognized for transformative contributions in manufacturing and IT. Ladies and gentlemen, what are you supposed to do? I love this set of audience. Thank you. And now, I would like to give you Mr. Baidyanath Kumar, CISO and Data Protection Officer, JK Lakshmi Cement. Sir, can I have you here?
When the sun goes down.
Now, we have the chair and moderator for this particular panel, Mr. Anuj Guglani. Ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. And I'm not going to do the honors because we are running behind schedule, but still you need to show the love constantly for him. Thank you.
So hello friends, once again. So we are talking about how sweet it is for us to be on a Saturday, on a weekend, to discuss sweet technologies and to discuss the sweet spot of these technologies. तो क्या सवाल पूछूं? ये AI क्या है? ये AI? Do we get blocked in chains or do we go on the cloud 9? So दोस्तों, all these are buzzwords, but in buzzwords को demystify करने के लिए, I hope Hindi English both are okay. Both are okay. So in buzzwords को demystify करने के लिए, we have one of the finest speakers in the country or probably the world to talk on them, because they will not bore you with technical jargons. They will actually tell you how it's done. They will tell you the use cases. They will tell you that these three technologies का sweet spot, इनका संगम क्या magic कर सकता है enterprises के लिए. अभी जो बातें होने वाली हैं, अगर हम यहाँ से कुछ एक आध चीज़ भी we can take away and implement, we are home. So that will make our Saturday really worthwhile. So without wasting any time, so if we begin with Manish, you. So sorry, you are unlucky. You're sitting right next to me. So I caught you as the first. So Manish, you are an award-winning CTO of our country. We are all proud of you. You have been doing very innovative initiatives like e-auctions. Friends, by the way, during COVID lockdowns, when we were locked up in our homes, they were busy working 24 hours a day, literally virtually, doing e-auctions of vehicles. So it was all driven, powered by tech. So Manish, the kind of technology, AI, blockchain, cloud, what have been your experiences in the industry, actual use cases, and आगे आपको क्या लगता है, क्या आप use करने वाले हैं? Something what the audience can learn from.
First of all, very good morning to all of you, and many thanks, Anuj, for having me here today. So, I think world has completely changed. We all would have experienced in some way whatever industries that we are working, primarily from auto to very different sort of verticals. If you can talk about our businesses, be it like Anuj earlier said in the morning, supply chain, to our manufacturing, to our customer service. I think each one of the business verticals have transformed. I think this is a great time to be in such to live in such era. At SAMIL also, we find every business as pretty much transformed. If we talk about artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, I think artificial intelligence wouldn't have come to where we are here today without a cloud computing. And if we see a blockchain, it's taking us even further next level. So even these use cases are, in some way helping our businesses move much faster. The kind of phygital auction that we brought in to our artificial intelligence based inspections, valuations, to a lot of other use cases where price predictions are happening through the intelligence system. Now moving to a next further advancements, we are having some of these, our customer interactions getting, more and more reviewed, more and more refined through the artificial intelligence. So I think all the use cases are all everywhere, all across. There is no question. And the more advancement coming, where more efficiency is coming, more security is coming, and there is enormous use cases all across.
In fact, one use case I can share right away. Deepti was reading out the profiles of all the speakers. So profiles में कई बार time लगता है, coordinate this that. So I thought, why not tell the team? अब तो WhatsApp के अंदर ही आपका बैठा हुआ है chatbot. Your prompt is right there. So I wrote, can you give me one page profile of, and I put speaker. Or I wrote, who is with the speaker's name. पूरी profile आ गई बन के WhatsApp में आ गई है. वहाँ से forward तो करनी है team के group में, या team के group में ही कर लो. So the way things are changing, more than me, I feel my mom uses WhatsApp. I feel at times, तो WhatsApp के अंदर आपका Jain आ गया है, आपका chatbot आ गया है, AI enabled. So just imagine, though अभी कोई use नहीं कर रहा. I hardly see people use the Meta AI on WhatsApp, but just imagine what it will be in next 3 years, 4 years. It will go through the roof. But then with that, the pressure on the resources, on the environment, on the privacy, there are so many issues which will come around these technologies. So Vikas, something if you want to talk on that. You have experience cross-sector. You have been working with so many sectors. टेक्नोलॉजी सेम है, सेक्टर्स अलग हैं, एप्लीकेशंस अलग हैं. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हाट आर द अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर AI, blockchain, cloud, the sweet spot, and what are the caveats we need to be really be aware of?
Right. Thanks everybody. Good morning, all of you. So you have taken a very right word, the sweet spot, right? And Panjwani also mentioned digital and physical, so how they are marrying. So what I can see that over and time, this AI, blockchain, clouds, they have been in the discussions or in our most of the activities for not more than around 10 years now. So what I see, all this transformation has happened. I will rate it as a cloud, the first one, because they have removed all the barriers. So there were earlier a lot of barriers. Due to those barriers, it was difficult to scale up, difficult to think how it can happen, because the kind of data these technologies generates, interaction generates, is humongous. And to use these data sets and bring some meaningful results really take a lot of time. So I have been working in cross sectors. So I have seen how these kind of initiatives has brought in a lot of transformation. So and now the people think that AI was a buzzword. Around more than let's say around 3 years or 4 years back, people were thinking इससे क्या हो जाएगा, मेरी लाइफ में क्या फ़र्क पड़ जाएगा. So everybody has seen how the cars, passenger cars has transformed. So you can see the level of ADAS which is coming up. So currently people buy the car, they ask to the manufacturer what kind of ADAS you have, whether you have ADAS level 2 or 3. Who knows ADAS level 2 and 3? And people are now aiming for 4 and 5, which is going to, I don't know, it may happen in 3 to 4 years coming up. So automotive companies, they are working most on the logistics parts. The logistics is one of the area that has huge potential to get transformed with the level of AI which is coming up, how they will have the last mile connectivity, how they are going to reduce their inventory levels. Currently,
so Vikas, any use case you might have on logistics, AI-enabled logistics, if any use case comes to your mind?
So one of the best use case of AI-enabled logistics is to reduce the last mile connectivity, to reduce the warehousing level of stocks you have, and how can you always maintain a right level of models and their color combinations, stocks at each distributors as well as the dealers. It has become very difficult now. People are moving from here and there. They wanted delivery very fast, and they are very choosy on those. And keeping all the stocks and meeting the customer demand is very, very difficult. And the kind of competition they have, so there is very huge chances that people can leave the miss or those customers and they can reach somewhere else.
इसके अंदर ना मुझे एक ब्लॉकचेन की एप्लीकेशन भी नजर आ रही है. अनुराग is one of the blockchain experts. He has a keynote also. अभी जो आपने बोला, logistics, all the stocks, this that. If you would have read in the news, auto companies are saying that the automotive dealers, आपको पता है, there's a huge problem of overstocking right now in the country. Sorry, I'll be only talking applications. The auto dealers right now are saying we have around 800,000 cars or vehicles in stock. The automaker is saying, sorry, that's a wrong figure. They are around 400,000. There's a disconnect. अरे आपने बिल करी है, आपने GST पे किया, आपको नहीं पता कितनी गाड़ियाँ हैं. अब इसमें अगर आप ब्लॉकचेन का लगा दोगे, distributed ledger, तो it's locked. Nobody can sway from the figure. कि भाई वो, they'll say there are 8.99 lakhs till the last number it will be accurate. So अगर हम इसमें AI enabling में इसमें हम blockchain लगा दें, cloud पे तो है ही है. अभी Aditya will talk on cloud also. So anything we can do like this, Vikas?
Yeah. Anything, this is one of the very particular tasks each and every industry is now working on. So you can see, I have seen they are having around more than 10K budget which is lying up in inventory stocking of any product which is ranging from around, let's say, between 3 to 7 lakhs, which is the most difficult area to manage because this is a very price sensitive area. And meeting those demand pertinently to the customer is very difficult. So with the help of blockchain, we can see how each distributor or dealers can be connected together and then can be a sharing of stocks with each other. And this can be very neatly managed through a some kind of a contract. So I have seen industries now doing these things.
Fantastic. So Hilal san, coming to you. So दोस्तों जिनको नहीं पता, वैसे तो majority लोगों को पता ही है, कनेक्टेड व्हीकल्स, कनेक्टेड कार्स इंडिया में किसी ने पायनियर किया था तो वो हिलाल सान एंड टीम ने किया था. Hilal San and team had pioneered connected cars in this country when people were just talking about connected cars. So that's a big thing that he has done, his contribution. So Hilal San, the sweet spot, हम यहाँ बड़ी मीठी बातें करेंगे. So the sweet spot of AI, blockchain, cloud. What are your experiences and what is your vision?
So first of all, good morning everybody, and thank you WAFit and Anuj for inviting me. I love you for some specific reasons and I hate you for some specific reasons. Love for the incredible work that you are doing, and I hate actually waking up early, especially on a Saturday morning. So, but nevertheless, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Honestly speaking, we are still talking about the sweet spot. I have yet not tasted any sweet spot as yet. Honestly speaking, in a typical manufacturing industry, rather in the auto industry today, if we try to understand, relate and marry what is going on in auto vis-a-vis what is going on in IT, so auto is going through a disruption. And that disruption is primarily on account of CASE. CASE stands for Connected, Autonomous, Shared and Electric. So this is one end, that's the auto. In IT, the thing that you are talking about, A, B, C, I wish that one day I will be discussing X, Y, Z as well, right? But today let's concentrate on A, B, C. So in IT, the disruption is happening primarily on account of AI, blockchain, IoT, cloud, artificial intelligence, sorry, I have said it twice. See, the role is that, the idea is that how we can capitalize on this disruption, how we convert this threat into an opportunity. And converting this threat into an opportunity requires two things. One, from the auto industry, the quality of data, the good quality of process, the good quality of operation, and the understanding of the right use case. From the IT side of view, what is really required, that is this really a hype, or this hype can be really converted into some kind of realistic, practical, tangible, measurable outcome for the customer, for the dealer, for the auto OEM, for the society as a whole. So you talked about connected. I'll be talking about it little later. So when I came here for the first time in 2017, so we talked about connected car and the data. And that time I said that, I wish to utilize IoT and I wish to utilize AI, but the problem is that the quantum of the data is not enough to make meaningful outcome out of the utilization of the same. Believe me, I have number of use cases in my mind. For number of use cases we are doing POC, but the fact remains same, that the quality of the data, the quantity of the data to give us meaningful result is still a distant dream. I have many things to talk about that I'll be talking the subsequent part. But I think, beyond hype, people have started doing the experimentation. People have started doing the POC. They have started recognizing the value out of it. There are certain use cases which are already there in production, but we still have to go a little bit more before we actually start actualizing on the results. Thank you.
Fantastic. So Hilal San का बहुत clear message है, स्पष्ट संदेश, that it has to be practical, it has to be tangible, it has to be measurable. Only then we can go beyond hype. Talking about hype, ChatGPT को दोस्तों launch हुए भी 2 साल भी नहीं हुए हैं. Look at the hype, look at the valuation, almost $70 billion. It is the fastest web app or mobile app to reach, to cross 100 million users. Barely, I think January 2023 में ही they had crossed. And how is ChatGPT available? How is it all pervasive? It's because of cloud. Without cloud, can you imagine ChatGPT? Possible ही नहीं है. 2017, when we did the first edition of WAFit, तब घोष दा आए थे. He was the CIO corporate of Mahindra and Mahindra. उन्होंने तब cloud पे keynote किया था, because cloud was a big thing back then. That cloud was a hype then. He said, his golden words were, Ghosh da, he said, cloud should not have been named cloud, because when you name it cloud, people take it too lightly. It has to be taken very seriously. This is a game changer. This was 2017. So Aditya, coming to you, you are expert in cloud, public cloud, saving resources. How do you think this sweet spot will enable cloud, or cloud will enable this sweet spot?
Yeah, so journey of cloud is actually very interesting, right? We all are thinking of AI as the new thing. If we go back in time, we'll see the algorithms for AI, neural networks, etc. They were generated back in the 60s. The biggest challenge was we didn't have the compute power to harness its actual use cases. So I think, if anything, cloud and compute is becoming the backbone on top of which everything else is getting built, whether we look at AI, whether we look at blockchain, look at edge, look at all the data use cases you mentioned. So I was just thinking, I've given you the E for your ABCD now is the edge piece of it, right? Because especially from an automotive perspective as well, I think one of the biggest things when we talk about connected cars or a connected landscape, I think the edge computing, 5G coming in, fog layers coming in is going to completely change the game.
We'll meet after WAFit to go all the way till Z in that case.
I like it. So I think cloud definitely is now becoming the backbone, and I do agree that it's no longer a buzzword. I think it's more of a bare bone necessity. What is important when you're going onto these technologies is to stay away from the fanciness of it, right? As Sir also mentioned, looking at tangible use cases, I think sometimes what happens is a lot of the times we are made to feel like idiots, if I may use that word, saying we don't understand a lot of this. In reality, if we actually see it the other way, if we just think about the use case, the technology will automatically spring up and say, I'm the one that is supposed to solve this. So back in the day, a lot of times we said we want to do this, and the tech guys would say, "Yaar, you can't do this. It's not possible. Technology में possibility नहीं है." Blockchain AI have now opened up that realm. So if we said that 9 out of 10 times, maybe 10 years, 15 years back, now we'll say it once or twice. So my push always to customers and technocrats is, let's not get too overwhelmed with these buzzwords and just still focus on, okay, this is what I want to do. Let the technology be the enabler for it in the process. And if we just start understanding the basics of these, what is AI? It is nothing but how our human brain works, right? It's a network of nodes that are identifying patterns. What is blockchain? It's a decentralized transaction system at its core. What is cloud? It's nothing but a layer where I can actually run a CPU in scale, right? We talk about edge. We're talking about microprocessors, so we can do last mile compute without having to go through the entire network and all the latencies that come with it, right? Data at its core is nothing but bytes that need to be stored somewhere and then be acted upon. So the simpler we look at it, the better it is. And I love the word demystifying, because I really don't like it when people try to make these things sound super complex or super fancy. The simpler you look at it, the more tangible it becomes.
Yeah, hype, we had gone to the dentist the other day. My mom had to get some procedure done, so I was standing next to the dental chair. The dentist was at his job, and he had some monitor. मैं पूछा इसमें क्या है? इसमें अनुज AI है. मैंने यार डेंटिस्ट भी कह रहा है AI, यार बताओ यार कहाँ तक AI पहुँच गया? मतलब ऑटो वाला बोलेगा भाई साहब AI पे चलता है मेरा ऑटो रिक्शा. मतलब it has become such a buzzword. It has become so generic. It is in everybody's lingo. Even the dentist is saying, Anuj इसमें AI डाला मैंने. So, but what is the usage? अभी आदित्य ने आपको 60-second master class दिया in simplifying technology. How are we simplifying? As I say, for anything and everything, you need the dreamers first. Then you need the doers. Then you need the enablers, which can be tech. Then you need the hustlers. So how would the cycle flow for these technologies? So
I'll add adopters to it.
The doctors too.
Adopters. You
Adopters.
need somebody to adopt that.
Adopt. So once the hustlers are through, the adopters come in and they start using technology. 100 million adopters of ChatGPT in 2 months' time. Just imagine. Look at the amount they would have hustled. Look at the amount they would have done, they would have enabled. So anything new, it's very easy to talk about it, but it's very difficult to implement and get results. So let's do the difficult thing. As simple as that. We are at WAF. So coming to you, Amit.
Yep.
So at Sage Metals, I was going through your profile. There was so much that you have done. So again, talking about the sweet spot, what exactly you feel has been kind of your badge of honor, your real achievement in implementing technologies like these for your organization?
Yeah, so first of all, good morning everyone, and thank you Anuj and WAFit it's good to be a part of so STEM panel and talk about Sage and my journey to it. So Sage is a not very big company. I would say when I joined, it was acquired by a PE fund, and we need to do everything from scratch there. And there was a lot of challenges. First was the adoption, the technology, 3 different companies, and was bought by one PE fund. So there was a lot of challenges. What we have done, and with the help of cloud, we adopted a multi-cloud environment where we basically select bits and pieces from different public cloud and create an environment which suits us, because like everyone said, that everything is available, but how do you adopt it as per your usage? Because that's the key, right? Everyone, like you said, right? Everyone talks about AI and cloud. Now, if you ask anyone about anything, they just go to the chat GPT and give you a 1-page answer. And if you ask them 2 practical questions, they will not be able to answer anything, right? So to find a meaning which suits your company, suits your process, suits your requirement, is basically a very important key to solve any challenges as far as IT is concerned. So we adopted different, we are using Amazon, we are using Azure, we are using Entity, we are using different bits and pieces. We create an environment. We did, first we did multi-cloud, then we did SAP, then we did HRMS, and everything is on cloud, because the setup that we have is, we have manufacturing companies in India, we have manufacturing companies, factories in US and different part of the world. So and everybody use the same infrastructure. So cloud is very, very important key for us to provide 100% uptime. But that comes with a challenge. The challenge is cost, right? And yes, we can have all the computing power. Yes, we can have everything which is available. But that initially when we started cloud, I think 10 years ago, when we started adopting cloud, it was like that. The first thing was that cloud is cost optimized process, that, you know, if you are buying a hardware, this is costing this much. And now if you go to the cloud, you just have to pay per use, right? But that has changed in last 10 years. Now if you buy a hardware, that comes cheaper and the cloud has become expensive. So, but depend upon how you define your configuration, how do you choose every bits and pieces that is required, that's very important key.
एक question दिमाग में आता है, Aditya, if you can answer it. So, what just Amit mentioned, the cloud is more expensive. Cloud का honeymoon क्या खत्म होता जा रहा है?
See, yes, cloud is not cheap. I said this when I, back in 2014, when Gartners and IDCs used to say cloud is cheaper, and I was like, this makes no sense. It cannot be. It is not supposed to be. Having said that, it is also not exorbitant. It all depends upon how have you implemented it, right? So at the end of the day, many companies just move lock, stock and barrel to cloud. अब जिस तरीके से ऑन प्रेम डेटा सेंटर्स में चल रहा था, अगर उस तरीके से क्लाउड में चलाओगे, it wouldn't work, right? It's like trying to say that you're going to extract performance out of something without really tuning it for it. With the ability to build cloud native applications, there is no way it will not be cheaper, but there is a journey to it. And that is something which every company tries to find shortcuts around. OEMs push us a lot, right? Because they are coming here to sell you. तो वो बेच के चले जाएंगे, but उसके बाद का bill
By OEMs, not the auto OEMs,
not the auto
software
OEMs, the cloud OEMs.
या customer बुरा मान जाएगा, पूरा बोलो.
The cloud OEMs. So they have their sales to do in the process, their numbers to achieve. So I think as long as there is a strategy behind how cloud is getting adopted, there is no way that it would not add value to the business.
Fair enough. So basically it needs fine tuning. You need experts to fine tune your cloud. You can't just say cloud pe dal do. You can't leave it to the cloud company also, the OEM. You need someone to integrate it for you, customize it for you, monitor it for you, give you the reports, see the notifications, keep fine-tuning. So it's a 24/7 job.
It's a constant job. So the one thing that is true for cloud is there's not a single day you can leave it and say सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है. So that is one thing where if all car enthusiasts here, if you're not servicing your car, it will stop giving you the performance you want, and it will get more and more expensive later on to go fix, all the things that you should have taken care of.
इंस्टा पे रोज स्टोरी चेंज कर देते हैं, तो यहाँ पर भी थोड़ा बहुत चेंज करना ज़रूरी है. यू नीड टू कीप फाइन ट्यूनिंग. नाउ लेट्स चेंज सम गियर्स एंड कम टू दी अदर एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ दीज टेक्नोलॉजीज, लिटिल सीरियस एस्पेक्ट. मैं एक उदाहरण के साथ इसको पेश करना चाहूँगा. जस्ट लास्ट नाइट आई वाज जस्ट प्लेइंग विद चैट जीपीटी. तो मैंने उसमें डाला, we all know Ferrari, right? I'm taking Ferrari's name because they're not officially present in India, they're only through a distributor. So I'm also safe, okay? So Ferrari is supposed to be one of the best high performance supercars, most aerodynamic. मैंने ChatGPT को बोला कि what makes a Ferrari so aerodynamic and high on acceleration? कट चीज़ आनी शुरू हो गई. What makes a Ferrari aerodynamic? They were components and they were parts. Then I said, can you share the specifications of each of these parts? कट स्पेसिफिकेशन आनी शुरू हो गई. ट्रैक इतना होना चाहिए, स्पॉइलर इतना होना चाहिए, ये इतना होना चाहिए, वो इतना होना चाहिए. अरे आई थॉट दिस वाज प्रोप्राइटरी इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ फेरारी. मतलब फेरारी में शॉप फ्लोर वाले इंसान को भी नहीं पता होगा कि वो डायमेंशंस कैसे मेजर होती हैं, क्या होती हैं. It's so proprietary, even the other functions apart from R&D or design or testing would not know. But through Chat GPT, I just got it casually. सोने से पहले ऐसे 1 मिनट पहले डाला. So look at the information the way it is outside. If I write, help me design a system or a car or a vehicle, what even the musicians are facing. Compose a song like Garmi, compose a song like any other best super hit. So इतने सालों, decades की आपकी जो मेहनत है, वो तो the way it is going out, it can be changed, twisted, distorted. So what are our caveats? How are we getting ready for this challenge? The dark side of AI, perhaps, if I can say that. So please feel free to comment on this.
Yeah, first of all, I would really encourage you to try to build that Ferrari from that specification. It may not work, right? Because that's the source of information is internet. And I am 100%, 99.9% sure that the Ferrari would not put this on internet because it's a proprietary information, like you said. So somebody from a probably Ferrari enthusiast try to build those information and put it somewhere in the blog, which basically captured by AI and giving you as the information. So and this is very, very important fact of the matter on ChatGPT specifically. Now we have a Copilot as well. So in organization, in enterprise, what is happening is that even people are not willing to write an email. They ask Copilot to write an email for them. And that actually sometimes lost the meaning of why we need to communicate, right? So you just type one line and it gives you one page of email and then you just send. Nobody is reading those emails. And they're actually losing all the meaning. So I was discussing with my security team yesterday, and we are planning to block ChatGPT and this for this Copilot and for the email. So that's another kind of problem, because what is happening is that it is generating so much of data, which is basically creating lots of email just for nothing. So what we need to do is, like initially we wanted to get away from the email. That's why we have MS Team, so that we can communicate faster, right? And now because of all this, the misuse start happening. So we need to focus on educating our team, educating our organization on how to use AI, because from an IT perspective we know, but from an organization perspective, from an operation team, probably a sales team, probably finance team, we need to educate them kind of risk that this technology or this new tools bring to the...
Fair enough. So that's a very valid point of Amit. You have to educate your teams about these technologies. So anything else, speakers, please feel free to add on to this. What are the caveats, the precautions that we need to take while adopting these technologies?
So, absolutely agree with what Amit has said. The world is full of content. You go to YouTube, you go to Google, you will find hell lot of information. Lot of information is actually used, processed, using AI and giving you some information. I at times question to myself that, getting some information through ChatGPT about my health status is actually not making me a doctor, and I can't really use it in a purposeful or gainful manner. There's a lot of information available over there. So what we really need to understand that any information that is available in the public domain, utilized in a manner that can give you some information, that's fine. But how that information can be used to make meaningful result out of the same, that's really important. And this is where exactly we need to work.
Fair enough. So Manish, something from your side on this?
Definitely, there is a dark side of all the new technologies. I think what we have seen over the 60, 80 years, how the manufacturing has evolved, and now the AI is going to evolve the similar, similar level. What we are seeing is there's a term called hallucination. That's what is impacting the outcomes of the AI, which means that we are seeing the results which are away from the reality also. However, like we already talked about, the data is all powering it. But at the same time, when we are saying the Porsche example, someone from the organization is also putting their internal data to the open source. When they are putting the open source is very smart enough to learn again from it. So actually, we are powering the OpenAI. Of course, they have got trillions of data and a lot of power, the cloud computing. However, our organization data is also going there at some time. That's where the enterprise level of the ChatGPT is required, not the OpenAI. Any organization need to have their own private enterprise ChatGPT to run their own things. That's one of the things. At the same time, the other dark side of the AI is we are losing the creativity. Whatever the content that we are seeing, you see, let's take an example, marketing team or the teams who are publishing some of the content, they are using this ChatGPT. What is happening is all the places I'm seeing as an individual, I'm seeing lot of duplication of the data. I'm seeing similar sort of the post on the social media, let's say. But that's we have lost the creativity. I think that's where a hybrid sort of approach is required, where we use enough of the ChatGPT, but we don't lose out on the creativity. Only if then we do it, we are actually getting to the next level. Coming to the real other scenarios, some of our tech teams using this tools very effectively. For a couple of examples, our development team, tech development team productivity has really enhanced. They are using ChatGPT to improve their code, improve their outcomes. If we all know the VAPT, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and other cybersecurity stuff. That's where also some of these tools are coming very helpful. So a thing that we may miss out generally from our eyes, these tools are coming at least handy to give us a quick sort of highlights of the areas of the issues.
But I feel ChatGPT also encourages coding, because on the homepage itself it's written write a Python code. So it gives you as a suggestion only.
True.
Write a Python code.
True.
Want to add something to this, Vikas?
Yeah,
Then Aditya, you can come in after that.
So any kind of technology, when it comes initially, so it is being implemented without any boundaries. That is the reason, so that it can, the implementation as well as the adoption can go unparalleled. So it can reach to each and every area. So that is the first intent. So moderation is always required. So I have seen that in ChatGPT 3.5 and 4, the moderation is not very much implemented, but I am expecting that in ChatGPT 5 or 6, when it will come up, it will have even personalization also. So whenever you, let's say you type anything, any search on the ChatGPT, the responses do come. But how many of us provide a feedback to the ChatGPT, whether this response is correct or not? So currently, I think not more than 5% people are giving responses. So if we start also, because contribution is very, very important. So currently, most of us are basically consumers. But if we change our thought process, to basically part of the implementation or part of means inventing or maybe giving a feedback so that the further adoption or improvement can be done, that it will completely transform. So putting a barrier is not always a good idea because it really brings down the innovation or the kind of expansion or kind of disruption we really need. So I have seen my kid using ChatGPT. He uses much better than me.
That always would be the case. Aditya, yeah.
Yeah, he uses much better than me, and he also gives the responses. So I have seen his account, and the kind of he's doing basically he's
you
making
see his account, huh?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Sometimes I do see what kind of search he's doing.
Does he know you are watching his account?
He know. So he has made ChatGPT 4 is very different from mine. If I type same thing on my ChatGPT, I will get a very somewhat different response. And when I type the same thing on his account, I will get a different response. That is a level of personalization he has already did.
Yeah, Aditya, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just saying, again, technology versus products, right? So ChatGPT is the product we need to remember. The technology behind it is LLMs or large language models. Now, the mistake we're doing is LLMs as a technology are built for people who know the answer. They just want to do it faster. So every time I use ChatGPT is because I know what I want to do. It is just enabling me to do it faster. Take your coding example, take the email example, or anything for that matter, right? The other day I had to send an internship letter to somebody who interned with me. I just used ChatGPT and drafted it, read it, and I sent it. So that works. Every time we go to ChatGPT hoping to do something that I don't know how to do, again, to Amit's point, the Ferrari example, 99.9% of the times we'll end up doing something wrong because we did not use it as an enabler or an accelerant to us, but as something which was supposed to fill a gap in us. Now, I'm not saying AI will be like that. There will be a concept called SLMs that is becoming popular, small language models. So these will be very specific use cases built for very specific outcomes. Could be medical, could be automotive, could be whatever, and they will be designed to solve problems consistently like we are used to working with codes and software. So it is very, very important again to understand where is the boundary of a ChatGPT and when should we not use it versus when we should be using it.
Bang on. So we as humans have our limitations. So we as tech people or tech enablers or consumers, adopters, we need to know the technology's limitations too. So if in 99.999 recurring percentage cases, it will not become a Ferrari, then I think Ferrari, no one would be happier than the Ferrari guys because they're decades of hard work. But you know what troubles us is that it might not work like a Ferrari, but if people start using it to design parts, say aesthetics, say exteriors, interiors, because every company has a designer, like what Manish also mentioned. There are people everywhere. But if they take the help to design things similar, if I just write to the ChatGPT, help me design a vehicle like a Ferrari, where I can also get a patent. So it will go in a way, sneaking around, that I don't get stuck in any legal hassle also, but I will be similarly looking to the Ferrari.
So go back 20 years, right? So when we were all in school days, calculators were not allowed. It was a big deal that we need to know how to do mathematics end to end. Now that's no longer the case. Now people think of calculators as a daily use tool. AI is going to undergo that evolution. Right now we are not very clear, but to your exact example, it's going to become a designer's tool. So it becomes a lot easier and more productive and faster for a designer, which means they know what they want. They're just avoiding those 5 clicks on Adobe by designing it with the help of AI. But if they didn't know how to make the last mile change, they'll get stuck. Very exact story happened with us yesterday. My designer was designing a graphic. So he got the concept out of AI model and then did everything he would have done normally and just saved himself a few hours. Now, had I tried to do that, I would get stuck because it wasn't what I wanted, but it at least accelerated my designer to get to the same outcome.
But then if he puts it on FB or Insta, it will put a tag of AI on it, right?
Yes.
So मेहनत तो पूरी करी,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल,
बट उसमें AI का टैग तो आ गया.
वो AI का टैग इवेंचुअली हट जाएगा बिकॉज हम ये तो नहीं बताते ना कि हमने 2+2 कैलकुलेटर से किया था या दिमाग में किया था. सो दैट इज द जनरेशनल चेंज दैट विल कम ओवर टाइम.
So that is exactly how, friends, technology will evolve. You know, just the way Aditya mentioned earlier, calculators were not allowed in classroom. I think still they might not be allowed. But it will just become an enabler, but also, so we have a couple of IP lawyers also in the hall. We have people from SS Rana and Company, one of the top IP law firms. So law also has to do a lot of catch up with technology, which always is the case. Technology is always moving couple of steps ahead of law. So how are we protecting the IPs, especially in technologies like these? It's a huge challenge. अच्छा दोस्तों, हम तो बोलते रहेंगे. किसी के अगर एक दो सवाल हैं, we can take interim also. Any questions till now? Before we start wrapping up, any question, because eventually question का time last में आता है, फिर वो रह जाते हैं. Everything is sorted, no problem, great combination. Yeah, one. Can we have the mic here, please? Can we have the mic here, please? So refer the person whom you wish to ask.
Yeah, I think Hilal son and Vikas Yadav and maybe, what's your name please? Second. Aditya, sorry. So I'm running a SAP consulting company. So my question is that SAP, as we are talking about cloud and AI and blockchain. So SAP has already adopted cloud and they are also trying to adopt AI. But as far as the blockchain is concerned, they are not working anything on that. So I just wanted to know what can be the use case and how it can be integrated with the ERP side of things, yeah. Specifically to SAP, maybe, yeah, this kind of thing.
So I don't know whether after this answer SAP will appoint me as a consultant for them for their product roadmap, but let me not just try to answer. Success Factor and Ariba, they both are on cloud. They came to market as a software as a service, and this is a very different form of cloud when you are actually compelled to do something, irrespective of the fact whether you really want to do it or not. But just trying to knit the concept of Ariba and the supplier collaboration. When the supplier collaboration today is happening using the Ariba platform, we are still doing many things which are separate despite using the same cloud. For example, my bill of material and my item master, my cost master is existing with me. Similarly, it is existing with the supplier. Now, considering the fact that a typical OEM of our size, say for example, is having 400, 500 number of suppliers, and each supplier is having the capacity who is not just supplying to me, but they are supplying to 10 other auto OEMs. And they can't really maintain number of different software on the basis of the recommendation of the auto OEMs. Having the blockchain, along with the cloud, wherein the master information of the auto OEM on the basis of which the supplier is actually working, they can be actually either replicated or can become an extended block of the same information that's there with the auto OEM. That could be an interesting use case. I don't know how practical and realistic it is, but this is the problem that we are facing as an auto OEM.
So that's a clear, genuine problem and a clear, genuine opportunity, by the way. Depends how you see it. As simple as that.
I can add one point to you. So your question was more on AI or the blockchain? So that's a difficult question, even for SAP also. So I have seen SAP is not very progressive on the blockchain. So blockchain is, because currently SAP itself is moving a transformation from ECC to S4. Even S4 is also not fully utilized in many of the companies. And most of them in the middle of that transformation, they have also incorporated a cloud-only policy. So that has even become more difficult for the industry to adopt those transformation and then on a blockchain over it. So I'm not a SAP expert on those areas, but I have seen a lot of use cases on the SAP website and the learning and knowledge management system where it is more coming on finance consolidation. So that is the one area where a blockchain is doing its implementation POC, where the business planning and consolidation as a budget planning that can be associated with each department. So they will create a lot of blockchains. Each department will be allocated a block, and how these blocks to be utilized and connected. And if they wanted to share, one department wanted to share budget with another department, that will also happen due to internal transfers. So that kind of automation they are looking in, because implementing the technology is not very difficult. But main thing is that what kind of ROI or what is the benefit which is coming out of the technology. Right.
Yes. Any other question?
So I just wanted to add something here. We are doing a POC. We are also using S4HANA right now, and we are basically material cost. About 40% of material cost is raw material, and right now we are working on a project where we are doing a reverse auction of all the raw material, where we are buying through auction, and all the contracts of that we are trying to do through blockchain. And with our customer contract, because all the customers that we have in US, so we have 100% export house. So that contract's basically done between India and US. So that is also we are trying to do through blockchain, because they keep changing. So we want to maintain the register, we want to maintain the security and everything. So that's why we are doing this with our vendor contracts, and also with our customer contracts that we are running on a POC right now.
So Amit, when you do a contract with your customer, that in the US on blockchain, how comfortable are they? If they say no?
So this is what we are now discussing with them, like other. So we have started a couple of projects, and we have asked them if they are comfortable. So we are choosing one customer at a time, and then we are building a use case, and then we are going with
Fair enough.
with other
Sure.
customers.
Just to add, you yourself mentioned about traceability. I think that is the fantastic example, and that is the most practical one, because India, within India, and then now we are exporting to more and more countries. And in case of product upgrade or product recall, I think traceability is one of the important factors. And
Traceability.
That's one of the most fantastic example. I think this is one area where we can definitely think of it.
Sure, a quick 10-second to add. Technologies continue to evolve on that side as well. We're talking about the use cases though. Just to add, there is a new concept on this modular blockchain, where we are looking at the scale now. Everyone wants to adopt the blockchain, but when it comes to the scale now, there's been some challenges. So there is a concept modular blockchain, which is even improving the scale, security, and the decentralization. So
great. Any last word from you, Aditya, before we wrap up? Because you didn't speak.
All good. I think I was going to cover the scaling aspect. So blockchain ka biggest challenge is it doesn't scale beyond a point. The entire pipeline starts bursting open. So
Anurag, that's a challenge for you. How do you demystify scaling up a blockchain? Okay. So modular blockchain. So that would be after the tea break, right? So it reads time's up. So it's time up. Thank you. Deepti, over to you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It was really a pleasure. Really a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those pearls of wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm sorry. Only gentlemen and gentlemen here.
We have ladies there. Come on.
No, there. But I'm saying for your words of wisdom, for the pearls of wisdom that all these gentlemen have shared with us today.
For a change from gentlemen words of wisdom.
Yeah. Do I expect you to do something again? The smiles and claps are a norm for this event. Please don't stop using it.
Representatives from VWMG.
VWMG, okay.
Naveen, please come for felicitation.
Okay. Here I would like to mention that Hilal sir has the most humble and kind smile I have ever seen. You have the most humble and kind smile, sir. It's not just for the sake of saying it, but I really mean it from the bottom. And here we begin with the felicitation. Ladies and gentlemen, the claps are not going to cease. Sitting...